by late 1994, Guns N' Roses were another victim of the change in the rock scene. And while many people think that alternative rock and grunge were responsible for the group's disappearance and demise, that wasn't even remotely true. Guns N' Roses would wrap up their 2.5-year-long, 192-show Use Your Illusion tour in July of 1993. And many people consider 1992 and 1993 to be the peak of alternative rock. But remember back then, guys, Guns N' Roses were still playing and selling out stadiums, not just arenas, all across the world and making tons of money. Now, Guns N' Roses' death was ultimately their own doing. Following the band getting off the road in the summer of 1993, the groups took some time off to rest and put out a covers album in 1993 called The Spaghetti Incident. The album found little fanfare because it was barely promoted and the band didn't tour behind it. And The Spaghetti Incident was meant to tide over fans until the band could release their next album of original material. And Guns N' Roses would start working on new material in early to mid-1994. And in Axl Rose and Slash's final interview together in January of 1994 on Rockline, the frontman would claim the band would release an album of new material most likely in 1996, and look to record a lot of ideas until then. Now, throughout 1994, the band would try to assemble to write new material, but guitarist Slash and frontman Axl Rose, as well as bassist Duff McKagan, weren't on the same page as to what the band's next record should sound like. Slash had written almost a dozen songs with drummer Matt Sorum and rhythm guitarist Gilby Clarke, but Axl and Duff rejected the songs thinking they sounded too southern rock. Now, happening the same year was that rhythm guitarist Gilby Clarke, who joined the band 3 years prior in 1991, as original guitarist Izzy Stradlin's replacement, was fired from the band by frontman Axl Rose without consulting the rest of the members. Now, Rose would replace Clarke with his childhood friend Paul Tobias, who was from Indiana, and co-wrote the Guns N' Roses song Back Off Bitch, which was found on Use Your Illusion 1. Slash disagreed with the change, as him and Tobias didn't seem to click. By the end of 1994, Axl and Slash were barely on speaking terms, and most of their communication was done through management. The producers of the movie Interview with the Vampire would end up approaching the band about possibly recording a cover of the Rolling Stones song Sympathy for the Devil. Slash was a huge fan of both the Rolling Stones and novelist Anne Rice, who wrote the book, but both members, Axl and Slash, had to see the movie prior to agreeing to get into the studio again. Now, Slash wasn't a fan of the movie, and according to him, it bored him to tears, while Axl personally loved it. But Slash saw it as an opportunity for the band to get the creative juices flowing and hopefully re-enter the studio once the cover was done to record new material. Slash would write in his memoir, "The only upside I saw to signing off on it was that it would accomplish what we've been unable to do to any degree in the past 7 months. It would actually get all of us into the studio." Now, once the band agreed to cover the song, the recording sessions didn't go as planned. Frontman Axl Rose never showed up when the other members of the band were in the studio. It would be Duff McKagan, Slash, and drummer Matt Sorum who would go into the studio together at the very beginning to record the instrumental track. Axl wouldn't show up until a few weeks later to record the vocals, and Slash would refer to the song as a very uninspired track. Axl Rose would also have some feedback for Slash about his playing on the song, telling him he wanted to redo his guitar solo to sound exactly like Keith Richards playing on the original track. Slash would recall in his book, "Keith's playing is so awesome on that song that I didn't even want to come near it, but I did, and after doing so, it left me feeling even more pissed off than ever." To make matters worse, when Slash heard the finished recording of the song, he noticed that Axl had gotten guitarist Paul Tobias to put answers or his own solo on top of Slash's guitar solo, which further infuriated the guitarist. The song would finally be released in early 1995 and would be the band's last recording to feature Slash, Axl, and Duff McKagan together, and Slash wouldn't leave the band until 2 years later in 1996. It proved to be another huge blow to Axl and Slash's relationship, which wouldn't be healed for almost 20 years. Now, Slash would conclude in his book, "If you've ever wondered what the sound of a band breaking up sounds like, listen to Guns N' Roses' cover of Sympathy for the Devil. There's one Guns track I'd like to never hear again. It's that one." That concludes today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like button and subscribe. And as always, guys, if you want to support my channel, you can just watch another video or go check us out on Patreon. Take care.